There's been some interest in my little lettering palette, so I thought I'd make a quick little video on its dimensions and how I made it, basically. So it's basically, to begin with, it's just made out of some scrap 1/8 inch thick material. I'll go over measurements in inches and for the US and millimeters for the rest of the world. So I guess, what would that be? Like, ooh, I don't know, that's like, it's really thin. Anyway, so it's like a veneer, wood veneer scrap that I had. So it's basically a plywood, so it won't fall apart. And then what I did was I cut some these pieces of wood and glued and clamped each one on like that. There's no nails or nothing. It's just glued on there. And I made it to fit. I made it originally to fit 3x5 card stock like that. So that would fit in there. But I actually prefer the magazine. So what I did was I just made an envelope full of 3x5 magazine squares like that. So I just have a bunch handy, just because I prefer a gloss to palette on rather than this matte surface. So that's what I chose to do. And you can cut through a whole magazine basically to make a bunch of these. And then just when I'm done with that one, I just pop that out of there, pop it out, and chuck that, and on your way. Oh, look at that. So anyway, so the overall measurements are, let's do it on the back side. The overall length of this is 8 3/4 inches, or I have to go this way, or 22 millimeters. 8 3/4 inches, 22 millimeters, and the width is 6 1/4 inches. 6 1/4 inches, or 16 millimeters. And then it kind of evolved a little bit. So I did start out with the thumb. This fits my thumb like this, and so I just whittled that away, and I just put it basically, I guess it's kind of in the center at 8 3/4, not quite. It's a little. So it comes back about 2 1/4 inches to there, and 5 inches there, or 5 1/2 millimeters, and about 13 millimeters. Okay, and then its length is about 2 3/4 inches, 7 millimeters. Width, 1 3/8, 3 1/2 millimeters. And then I just rounded it with, I just cut it out with a, basically I just drilled a hole and then I cut it out with a jigsaw. Just kind of made an oval-like shape until I got it till it felt pretty good with my thumb. Then obviously, these would be fit a little more than so I went like 5 1/8 by 3 1/8, so that the cardstock would, easily go in there and not be tight. So you don't want it to go in there tight. So that's 8 millimeters by 13 millimeters. Okay. And then this little thumb thing is offset, about 3/8 of an inch, or 1 millimeter away from this edge. And let's see. Okay, and then I put this groove in. The groove in is for the maul stick. So you got your thumb in here, slide your maul stick in there, and it rests right comfortably inside that notch. That notch is 1 1/4 inch or 3 millimeters, and this way it's 1 1/2 inch or 4 millimeters, and just round it all off, round all the corners, round them all around, so it's, you know, it doesn't, there's no sharp edges anywhere. Then for the Dixie cup, I wanted to go down as low as I could. It works a lot better than if it's way up high like this. If it's sitting up too high, it's just another distance you don't want from edge of cup to pallet. So that's why I made it the hole size that I did, so it'd be really super close. So it's from brush, pallet, pallet, right there, real close. So that diameter, in order to fit that in there, is 1 7/8 inches diameter, 1 7/8 inches diameter, or what's that, 4 and it's just a little under 5 millimeters. Just a little under 5 millimeters. And then you can, that should do it. And then this hole here is for a cough syrup cap. You know, this is a cough syrup cup that is on the top of a cough syrup container, and you know, this is what you drink out of. And then this is for, you know, solvents, thinners, turpentine, whatever you use to thin with. So you can, you know, if you want to dip, and, you know, if you want to customize your brush load, you can get a little bit of thinner and swirl it around on your palette. And this cup, you know, it comes from like a cough syrup, and so it's like, I think, Robitussin or something like that. So it's like about 1 1/4 inches on the base, and that is 3 millimeters. And so I made the hole about 1 3/8 diameter. That's 3.5 millimeters. 3.5 millimeters. And then I just offset them. You know, just put this on. Just put this all on first, so that you don't, you know, you get the hole in the right place. But this is basically, you know, a half an inch or 1 millimeter, and this is 3/4 of an inch or 2 millimeters. And then if you want this side, 1/2 inch as well, so that's a little over 1 millimeter. And then just anywhere where this fits. So that is that's my palette. And then after it was all done and glued, and all this glue was dry, then I sprayed the entire thing with Plasti Dip in a spray can. So I gave it about maybe about 5 or 6 coats of Plasti Dip in a can, and that makes it nice and grippy. It's not all slidey and slippery. It grips nice in your hand. It also adds a little comfort, you know, because it's a little tiny bit spongy, not a whole lot, but just kind of adds a little comfort. And so this works for my round maul stick, but what I use is a flat maul stick. So it also works for that too. Fits right in that groove perfectly. And I grip around this side. Put my cup in. A little container full of lacquer thinner or paint thinner, and ready to go.